Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. Last time I did this style of video, you guys seemed to like it, so I'm going to try another one. This is basically a podcast style video. You don't need to watch anything. You can just listen, maybe do some chores in the background, some dishes, whatever you got to get done. Today I want to talk about Terastal Festival, the latest Japanese high-class set that's come out, and why I would suggest not buying this booster box right now. There's been a lot of hype around this set. People are getting really excited and pumped up for the English set, Prismatic Evolutions, that's coming out in January. They should be approximately 1-to-1. Sometimes they pull certain cards out of the Japanese sets when they make the English ones, and they'll turn them into promos. But I expect we'll probably have 1-to-1 on this, especially because I think the number of SIRs are pretty close to it. I think the Japanese has 33 SIRs. I think the English is supposed to have 32. So they'll probably pull one out for a promo. But that set's supposed to come out in January, which is right around the corner, really. The Japanese set kind of was pre-ordering in like the $50 to $55 range. And right now you can buy those booster boxes at about $82 and up, somewhere in the $82 to $90 range if you check like eBay or even some of these third-party sites that sell Japanese booster boxes. So the set has jumped up a lot. There's a lot of demand for Terastal Festival right now. A lot of people wanting to open it. If you pre-ordered and got in at that $50 to $55 price, I think that's great. You're solid. This is really not speaking to that. This is more speaking if you're thinking about buying a box right now or you're thinking about opening several boxes right now. I personally would suggest that you wait. I would suggest that you do not spend your money on this. Historically speaking, Japan has been printing a lot lately, especially this past year. I don't know if you've been around or not. Maybe you're new to the hobby. But basically, if you go back about a year, we had Shiny Treasures that came out. That was the high-class set. By the way, high-class Japanese sets are booster boxes that have 10 packs. Every pack has a hit. It's like an EX or a V or better. So it was in the Sword and Shield era, it was a V card. In the Scarlet and Violet era, it's an EX card. Or better, Terastal Festival, you're guaranteed an SAR in every pack. I can't remember how that worked. I don't think with Shiny Treasure you got that because the set was largely baby shinies, but there was a certain hit rate that was assigned to it. There was a certain number of baby shinies you would get out of every box. When Shiny Treasures first came out, which was about the same time of year that Terastal Festival came out, it released around $89, $89, $90, something like that. And by February, which is just, a couple months later, it was down to $50. And then by March, the prices I'm seeing on like price charting showed $44. I personally remember that March, April timeframe, you could get boxes on different websites for like $35. A lot of places were blowing them out, just trying to get rid of them. What happened is Japan printed a ton of them. And they kind of released them in waves. And so as more was coming out and hitting the market, the prices were coming down. Also, the English version of that set, Paldean Fates, came out. And I think that came out in January. Kind of the same kind of release schedule as Terastal Festival. And I think that English set coming out put pressure down on the Japanese. So this is kind of a typical cycle you'll see. The Japanese comes out, it's really hot. The English comes out next. It puts pressure down on the Japanese. That also happens to be the time that you see Japanese new waves of printing coming from Japan as well. So, I could see something similar happening with Terastal Festival. I think it's probably a stronger set in the market's eyes than Shiny Treasures was. So I wouldn't be surprised if the price doesn't come down as severely. But I could see by, February, March, us being back to $55 boxes for Terastal Festival or $50 or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. Paldean, what was I saying? The other one I wanted to talk about was V-Star Universe. So V-Star Universe was essentially the equivalent to Crown Zenith. It came out as a Japanese high-class set before Crown Zenith was released in English. And Crown Zenith, of course, is the last Sword and Shield set. And it also has a very similar high hit rate. Honestly, Prismatic Evolutions, I'm expecting to be very similar to Crown Zenith in its hit rates and feel. But V-Star Universe, when it came out, it was $112. Now, I do want to make a note, though, with V-Star Universe is that there was a massive hype wave for Japanese for about a 1.5 to 2 year period. And V-Star Universe came out right in the middle of that hype wave. So some of these prices are going to be even higher because Japanese was in a hype cycle at the time. But when it released, it was $112. About 4 months later, it spiked to $234 because, again, there was this massive hype. There wasn't enough of it on the market. And then about a year later, it kind of came back down to the release price of about $111, $112. And then eventually, if you waited, they kept printing, they kept releasing. About a year and a half after it came out, you could get a box for about $67. Now, I can tell you right now, if you shopped around and you shopped really hard, you could even get down into the 50s. But the point is the price was significantly cheaper if you were able to wait. Again, those prices were pretty elevated because the market was crazy for Japanese booster boxes at the time. But I think this is a pretty typical pattern. I want to say V-Star Universe had like 6 or 7 release waves. Like Pokemon Center, Pokemon Japan, they just kept printing V-Star Universe. So lots of product that came out really to push those prices down and make it affordable for people. You just had to wait. You just had to be patient. Japan's been doing that with a lot of sets. They've been printing like crazy every set. They've been printing Pokemon 151 a whole bunch of different times. They even went back to like sets like Lost Abyss and Paradigm Trigger from Sword and Shield, and they reprinted them earlier this year. They reprinted Clayburst. That was a set that was going absolutely nuts during the Japanese hype in 2023. They went back and reprinted that, shoved those prices down. So anytime the Japanese side sees the prices get, creep up, they will print and push the price down. So you just have to kind of be patient. I really think we're going to see a lot more waves of Terastal Festival come out. I really do. I think they're anticipating that this is a strong set. I think they're watching the prices go up, and I think they're probably printing tons right now and probably have a lot of planned waves. So even if it continues to spike for the next couple months, if you're able to be patient, I really think you'll get a lot more, be able to get a lot more product for your money, or just be able to get a booster box for a lot cheaper. So if you're really just dying to open one, you want to pay that elevated price right now, that's fine. But if you're wanting to buy multiple, or you're wanting to invest in this and buy a whole bunch of these booster boxes to invest in, I would wait. I would definitely wait. I would target that like $55 price point again, somewhere in there, and they may even go even lower than that. But yeah, so I also think when Prismatic Evolutions comes out in January, I don't know if I mentioned this a second ago, but I think that's going to put some downward pressure on the Japanese set. So I think if you're able to be patient and allow the English hype to take over, I think you'll start to see some better deals on the Japanese, and it'll be a good time to open some boxes, some rips, some packs. So yeah, anyway, kind of a short video today, not a ton to talk about, but I did want to just warn anyone that might be newer to the hobby, or maybe you've been around for a while, but you're just getting caught in the hype. We all do it. We all get caught in the hype cycle. If you've got tons of money to throw around and you want to spend it on that, that's fine. But I think for a lot of us, we've got to be kind of wise with our money and make it go farther. And so I would suggest not to buy the Japanese Terastal Festival booster boxes right now. I would wait. I would save them for wait for maybe February, March, maybe even a little later if this hype cycle just stays too strong. But I think even in January, February, once we start to see the English set come out, I could see some prices coming down a little bit. So yeah, I think patience will pay off. That would be my suggestion to you guys. Thanks for tuning in today. If you liked the video, please give me a like. Leave me a comment if you disagree or agree. And please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Maybe with your help we can do it. Thanks a bunch, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you later.